I saved $43.80. All right, today's topic, how to get good fuel economy in your gigantic vehicle. Here's mine, E350 40 Econoline van with the V10 and 6.8 liters. 1 mile per gallon. Did you see that? I'm going 30 miles per hour.
How dare you!
The Ford V10 engine has the reputation of getting the dreaded 8 to 10 miles per gallon. I'll show you guys how to do a little better. Good fuel economy. I don't know if you guys will call it good, but we'll definitely improve it. Fuel's topped off, trip meter's reset, ultra gauge is reset. Let's go ahead and make this a gas guzzler challenge. What gas guzzler do you drive? Do you drive a full-size pickup truck, full-size SUV, a van like me? Let's make a game out of this. Instead of driving fast all the time, how about we drive slow and see how much we could improve our fuel economy. Okay, here we go. Keep the RPM low, under 3,000. It's going to shift right now. I know this vehicle. And the key is RPM. Keep this under 3,000 RPM. So we're going to merge slow. Get up to speed like without hitting 3,000. So here we go. Let's see if we get a shift before 3,000. 3,000 right there. There you go. Shift. Boom. 2,000. Okay, I'm on my way. 65 miles per hour cruise control. Next to a slow lane. Almost at 15 mpg. We're at under 2,000 RPM. Here's another tip for you guys. Aftermarket TPMS tire pressure monitor sensor. So the recommended tire pressure on this van is 60 PSI front, 80 back. A lot of my friends with this style van, they're running 50 all four corners or 60 all four corners for ride comfort. I like to go around 70 all four corners for the best fuel economy possible. I believe the max tire pressure on these load range E tires is 100, so never go over the max tire pressure recommended. So yeah, if I was towing, I would be doing the recommended pressure 60 front, 80 back, 70 all four corners for fuel economy. That's what I like about big engines. Right now, I'm on an incline, and that's why it's reading 12 miles per gallon. We're on a climb right now, but the vehicle is not downshifting. It's staying in top gear. This is what it would look like if I had a wimpier engine. It would do this. It would downshift like that and the RPMs would spike up. So let me press it off. And then now we're back at a lower RPM. When you're not climbing, the instantaneous fuel economy reader is gonna read much higher. When you're climbing, you're gonna get like 5 to 10 miles per gallon, depending on how steep it is. But yeah, going back to tire pressure, let's say your vehicle recommends 35 PSI, do 40. Just go like 5 over, don't go too crazy. Some people go really crazy and go like 10, 15 over, but 5 over. And then the thing with overinflating, well, not really overinflating, just going a little over, is your tire wear in the center will wear out a little quicker. So sometimes I like to do 60 all four corners, you know, for a smoother ride. But this is for video purposes. I do this for you guys. Try to show you guys how to get the best fuel economy possible. Okay, we're about to hit an incline again. So watch this instantaneous fuel economy reader go down. There you go, going down, down, 11, 10, 9, so 8. So 8 miles per gallon right now. But notice the RPM is holding under 2,000 because this vehicle has the power to not downshift up mountain grades. That's why I like big bore motors. The engine in my van came out in 1997. My van's a 1999. This V10 is used in Ford Excursions, F-250, 350s, 450s. I've even seen them in 650s. You also see them in RVs and U-Haul trucks. So I figure a V10 in a van that's kind of small, it's a big vehicle, but compared to an RV or a U-Haul truck, this van is relatively small. I wanted the V10 because I figure, okay, that engine is not going to work hard in a vehicle that weighs under 7,000 pounds versus a vehicle that weighs 12,000 pounds. And that's why right now we're relaxed cruising. 65 miles per hour cruise control. This engine is not working hard. In 1997, when this engine came out, it had 305 horsepower. It doesn't sound impressive, but it does have 420 foot-pounds of torque. And eventually, like in the F650s, they got 370 horsepower and I believe like 460 foot-pounds of torque. But in a van, 6.8 liter V10, it's not working hard. So a Transit with the EcoBoost 3.5 twin turbo, it's making as much power as this with the V6, but the difference is it's a 3.5 with the V6 and 2 turbos. This engine is not working as hard as a V6 3.5 with 2 turbos. And that's what I like about this. But the moment you step on the gas, your fuel economy is gonna plummet. I was on a climb for a while. That's why I'm down to 15.3 miles per gallon. But now I'm going downhill. That's why the predictor is saying 32. So should get some of my fuel economy back. So one way going up and the other way going down. So I made a dedicated video about this van and the fuel economy it gets. And people with sportsmobile vans were telling me that they were getting 10 to 12 miles per gallon. 12 on a good day. So here's the thing. If you're into vans, you know what a sportsmobile is. It's a 4x4 converted van with a pop-up roof and full interior. Those sportsmobile vans weigh just under 10,000 pounds. My van is a lifted 2-wheel drive with 410 gears, so I have the right gearing for this van to match up with the factory gearing 373s. So basically with bigger tires and 410s, I'm back to 373s. So I wanted my van at stock calibration. So here's the thing about weight. My van checks in at 6,500 pounds the last time I got it weighed with a full tank of fuel. Sportsmobile vans check in at just under 10,000 pounds. So every 1,000 pounds you add to the stock weight of your vehicle, you're losing 1 mile per gallon. And that's why they're getting 12 miles per gallon on a good day, because Sportsmobile added about 3,000 pounds to the weight of the van. So these E350 stock weigh about 6,500 pounds. Mine was 6,500 pounds with a full tank of fuel. So if you drive a big vehicle and you're thinking about making a road trip rig, off-road camping rig, think about the weight. Try to keep it as close to stock as possible, because for every 1,000 pounds you add to your vehicle, you lose 1 mile per gallon. So something to think about. Weight will kill your fuel economy. Okay, RV is about to pass me in about 2 minutes. Perfect timing. So here's my theory. Actually less, now he's moving. There you go. This has a V10 engine right here. How much do you think this thing weighs? About 10, 12,000 pounds? Probably more. If the Sportsmobile weighs 10,000 pounds, this thing must weigh 12 actually. So yeah, that's why you want your big engine to not work hard. Keep the RPM low. If my engine could power that, this is great, right? It's like half the weight. So imagine just slowing it down a little bit. That's the lesson of the day. Just slow it down a little bit on your big engine. Just think about it as a 300-pound football player. Like if a 300-pound football player runs across a football field as fast as he could go, he's gonna be thirsty. Same thing as your vehicle. See, a much smaller vehicle, a much smaller person is not gonna be as thirsty going that fast. See the MPG predictor when you're at a crawl. So right now I'm coasting, and then I'm gonna have to move again. There, 5 miles per gallon. I'm gonna let off the fuel. 16 miles a gallon because I'm coasting again. And I gotta slow down. And then if I move again, 4 miles per gallon. So yeah, It takes a lot out of these vehicles, a lot of fuel out of these vehicles to constantly slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up. And this is why I drive slow. There's that RV from earlier. We caught up to him. E450. Yep, same one. That's the inside of my van. It's a no build. Nothing crazy. It's not a log cabin back here. So stock weight. 203.1 miles traveled. About an hour of traffic. Average 65 miles per hour. According to the Ultra Gauge, 15.2 miles per gallon. But as always, I'll get the actual fuel economy. Miles traveled divided by gallons added. 12.648 gallons added. 203.1 miles traveled divided by 12.648 gallons added. Actual fuel economy 16.05. According to the Ultra Gauge, 15.2, so better than the Ultra Gauge. And according to the Ultra Gauge, I could have traveled 330 more miles. I could have went a little further than that. So easy 500 mile range. Not bad for a vehicle bigger than an Excursion or Suburban. Let's do some math. I'm Asian, so I like math. Let's say I got the dreaded 10 miles per gallon, so I would have had to add 20 gallons instead. There it is right there. If I had put in 20 gallons, 10.1 miles per gallon. $74.61 for putting in 12.648 gallons. $5.89 a gallon. Now let's times $5.89 per gallon times 20. Okay, so if I got 10 miles per gallon instead of 16, I would have spent $117 instead of $74, so minus $74. I saved $43.80. Now ask yourself that question. Is it worth slowing down to save $43.80? The bigger the vehicle you drive, the more money you're going to save. I did this before, but this vehicle accelerating full throttle to 30 miles per hour, this thing gets 1 mile per gallon. My Corvette doing 150 gets 3 miles per gallon. So this is how bad this van is. Now that I'm done with this road trip, I'll do a demo. I rarely floor it in this van because it is a gas hog. But I showed you guys, if you keep the RPM down, 16 miles per gallon. If I didn't hit traffic, 17. I've gotten as high as 19 on a road trip. All right, watch this. All right, I'm clear. Watch the MPG. All right, did you see that? Did you see the one? And I only went 35 miles per hour. That's just briefly flooring the thing. 4 miles per gallon right now. 5. All right, now we're moving up.